Thank you for joining us for this month's virtual Curators Tour. I'm Chen Jiali, Associate Curator of Exhibitions at the Fort Wayne Museum of Art, and I'll be your guide today. We will be looking at poetry and painting, scenes from Fort Wayne's sister city, Taizhou, China, to gain a deeper insight into the works in the exhibition as a whole. Landscape painting is a traditional form of Chinese art with a history spanning over 1,500 years. It reflects the deepest deposition of human emotions and displays the cultural heritage, classical charm, and temperament of the Chinese nation. Painters use their experiences in nature to perceive its essence, thus nourishing their own personalities and nurturing their affections for mountains and waters. Taizhou Jiufeng Landscape Painting Academy is a non-profit public culture and art group named after the local Jiufeng Mountain in Taizhou, China. Its members are from different walks of life, including civil servants, teachers, and entrepreneurs, ordinary citizens who come together for a common hobby and pursuit, Chinese landscape painting. They share experiences and exchange skills, enduring the difficulty of artistic creation and enjoying its happiness at the same time. 6 members from the group, Tao Ji, Chen Jiali, Chen Rongjun, Chen Tianye, Dai Xuezhao, and Xin Yunying, created the displayed works. In each brushstroke, they incorporate their pursuit of poetic and spiritual needs, emphasize their interest in nature, pursue ancient and secluded beauty, and express their wish for harmonious coexistence between humanity and nature through various artistic styles. Their paintings are an extension of Chinese humanitarian spirit, highlighting poetic sentiment and elegant charm by paying homage to the majestic mountains and seas in Taizhou and the Road of Tang Poetry in Eastern Zhejiang, a scenic cultural route that once drew the nation's most prominent poets to the area. The exhibition's iteration in Fort Wayne, created in partnership with Taizhou Jiufeng Landscape Painting Academy and Fort Wayne Sister Cities International, is intended to boost mutual understanding and cultural communication between Chinese and Western cultures through art. On our tour today, we will be looking at one work by each of the 6 artists featured in the exhibition to understand more about their unique styles. First, we'll be looking at a work by Chen Rongjun, who is president of the Taizhou Landscape Painting Academy. In Shitong Fishermen, 3 tiny fishermen can be seen pulling in a net on the left amidst a small village, while abstract washes of black, turquoise, and blue ink swell from the right. The blue and green swells emulate flowing waves or cast fishing nets, denoted by detailed cross-hatching and circular stone sinkers. This blue-green color palette, while it is used in a modern way here, is actually a traditional mode of landscape painting. Qinglu, as it is called, is traditionally used as an allusion to the distant past, or to paradisiacal realms. The brightly colored pigments of the minerals malachite and azurite were also used in alchemical practices searching for an elixir of immortality. Therefore, more than just a representation of the natural world, Qinglu paintings embodied the magical properties associated with the imagined realms of the immortals. Our next work is by Chen Tianye, the Vice President and Secretary General of the Taizhou Landscape Painting Academy and son of Chen Rongjun. Chen's compositions are a little more traditional and less spontaneous than his father. Rising Clouds and Autumn Mountains emphasizes the vertical orientation of the paper, which lends to the height of mountainous terrain and its impressive stature compared to the small dwelling on the right. In contrast, horizontal or hand-rolled scrolls are thought to better depict scenes of water, lowland, or landscapes where the viewer is removed, as in a story. These works are unrolled little by little to slowly unfurl a narrative, while hanging scrolls are meant to envelop and confront the viewer with the image's grandeur. On all these works, viewers will note red seals in the margins or sometimes stamped directly on the imagery, often paired with calligraphy. These seals act as the artist's signature, denoting the work as authentic. Throughout the history of Chinese painting, these marks act as living records of the work's journey through time, as it was common for each new owner to stamp the work with their personal seal. The calligraphy adds context to the work, describing the day, time, season, or year the work was painted. Touches like this help cement the work in a singular moment of time, as the landscape will never quite look the same again. Our third work is by Tao Ji, council member and secretariat member of the Huangyan District Calligrapher Association and a member of Taizhou Huangyan Jiufeng Landscape Painting Academy. Tao has an eye for intricate, densely detailed works. In A View in Baochun Garden, Tao draws from the long history of fan painting in Chinese art, as the shape of her composition is that of a round fan lying flat. Detailed trees, pagodas, and dwellings form a complex scene of natural earth and vegetation, intertwined with man-made dwellings. The ancient art of fan painting was said to begin over 1500 years ago, when the famous calligrapher Wang Ziqi wrote on fans an old woman was selling. She became angry, thinking her goods were ruined, but people flocked to buy the new decorated objects. In addition to being tools to cool oneself, fans became symbols for status and taste in China, and a lucrative market for poets and artists. Next is a colorful work by Chen Jiali, a member of the Taizhou Landscape Painting Academy and primary school art teacher. Chinese landscape painting is influenced by the Taoist belief that humans and animals should live harmoniously with nature. This is often represented by tiny figures being dominated by the landscape, signifying its enduring nature compared to the temporality of life. Here, minuscule chickens at the bottom left of the composition serve as life sources. A carefully rendered dwelling complex, composed of thin lines and meticulous color placement, lies underneath a looming mountain range. Watery splashes of orange and gray ink, overlaid with looser and thicker strokes, evoke the mountain's power and uncontrollability compared to the orderly life below. Next, cultural worker and Taizhou Landscape Painting Academy member Xin Yunying has chosen to depict a very specific scene, setting sun after rain. The orange background hue emulates the warm tinge of golden hour, reflecting off buildings and foliage, while the thin gray washes of ink in the sky and pavement convey misty air and damp ground. Like the French Impressionists, Chinese landscape painters aim to capture the feeling and emotion of scenes rather than their accuracy. Note the different brushstrokes the artist has used to create texture. The thin, long strokes of a pine needle, compared to the thick, inky dots of the nearby tree's leaves. Lastly, artist Dai Xuezhao has a knack for depicting expansive landscapes with several layers of depth. Mist is a common element in Chinese landscape painting that helps break up various perspectives, denoting a change in the scene. It is also used as a symbol of qi, the energy that flows through all things. In scenes such as a mountain spring, the artist depicts mist as a beautiful hallmark of the damp, mountainous Chinese landscape, but also may be encouraging viewers to contemplate absence or the void, the natural order of qi, from which the presence of the landscape springs forth. Dai also references Taizhou's long history of being an inspirational paradise. Although it lies on China's eastern coast, Taizhou is known for towering mountains and beautiful waterways. The Tiantai Mountains in particular were a favorite respite for monks, hermits, artists, and poets during the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907, a golden age of ancient Chinese literary culture. In total, poets of the era left 1,200 poems chronicling the mountain's majestic and mysterious landscape. While it is unclear if Dai Xuezhao's A Mountain Spring depicts these specific celebrated peaks, the words of hermit and poet Han Shan seem to call to the tiny figures residing in the small house to the bottom left. If you want to find a resting place, Cold Mountain will keep you long. A gentle breeze blows the hidden pines. The closer you come, the better it sounds. Thank you for joining me for this virtual Curators tour. To see many more fascinating works exploring the beauty and wonder of the Chinese landscape, I encourage you to see Poetry and Painting, Scenes from Fort Wayne's sister city, Taizhou, China, in person before it closes on September 17th.